move to our last day of our webinar session. So before starting the section formally, I like to share few instructions. So once you join the page, kindly mute your audio and video. It's mandatory and will enhance the webinar quality. So everyone can hear and see the speaker's presentation alone. So wait for the resource person to present his screen. When the presenter presents his screen, kindly ping to the presenter screen so that it automatically displayed on your screen. So in case of you have any queries or questions, you can post the same in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask the queries at the final of the session. And if you accidentally leave the meeting, you can rejoin the same link. So a feedback link will be posted in the chat box at the end of the section. So we expect your fullest cooperation during the entire webinar. Thank you. So now we start our section formally. Now I like to welcome Mr. A. Vasisthar from Final Year Mechanical to propose the welcome address.
Thank you, Tojes. Very good evening to one and all gathered here. On this auspicious occasion, I would like to welcome you all for today's webinar titled Units in Thermal Engineering. Great things never come from comfort zones. With these quotes, it's our pleasure to welcome on such motivational person, Mr. M. Ashok Kumar, who is the chief guest and also the presenter for today's webinar. The essence of great leadership is influence. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. You can go ahead.
The essence of great leadership is influence and not authority. With these notes, I would like to welcome the respected principal of our institution, Dr. L. Ganesan, to this webinar. We celebrate your leadership and you keep on influencing us. We welcome you, sir. It's an honor to welcome the Vice Principal and also the well-wished Dr. S. Rajakarnagaran, the Head of Mechanical Engineering, Ramco Institute of Technology, who puts his soul and heart in uplifting others, attains dignity. We welcome you, sir. I would like to welcome the Faculty Coordinator of IESTE, Mr. J. Jevind, who giving us the opportunity to conduct this type of events, and also welcoming the faculty members and student coordinators to this webinar. Last but not least, I sincerely welcome all my student friends. You are strong and smart. Once again, I welcome everyone for today's workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. A. Vasisthar. So next I would like to call upon Mr. J. Jebin, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Ramco Institute of Technology, to share some few words about today's chief guest.
Thank you, Tojas. So good evening to everyone present here in the last day of this webinar. So before starting the session, I would like to say a few words about our expert speaker of today. Mr. M. Ashok Kumar is Assistant Professor Senior Grade in Department of Mechanical Engineering, Ramco Institute of Technology. He completed his BE Mechanical Engineering in Madras University in the year 2004. He completed his ME Thermal Engineering in Anna University, Coimbatore in the year 2009. He is currently doing his research in mass transfer. Apart from this, his research area of interest are heat and mass transfer, phase change materials and fuel cell. He has also published numerous research papers and conference papers. He has been awarded with a patent. He completed one funded project and he is also having an ongoing funded project with worth of rupees 15 lakhs. He has completed many online courses and also he has conducted many guest lectures, given many guest lectures in the field of thermal engineering. So with this short introduction, I would like to close my words and now I will hand over the session to our expert speaker today, Mr. M. Ashok Kumar, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ashok,
thank you,
yes.
Jebin, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. You are clearly audible, sir.
Thank you, Jebin, sir. I first of all welcome you all for this third day session about in the topic of unit and its conversion. First of all, I would like to thank our management, principal, vice principal, and also the department coordinators of this program and also students coordinator. So from this small thank, I will start my session. So now I just share my screen. Sir, is it my screen is shared to all, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you, sir. So today my topic is units in thermal engineering, especially in engineering. In most of the countries, we are following SI units. So I am also going to give my focus on the SI units. So first I will give some small introduction. I am not going to elaborately define all the terms which are used in thermal engineering. I will just give this important term and its units, and we can directly go for the unit conversion. So first one is what is thermal engineering? Thermal engineering is a specialized subdiscipline of the mechanical engineering and also chemical engineering. Actually, that deals with movement of heat energy and transfer. So we know that heat energy, the thermal is represent the term heat energy, okay, and also we know that the energy unit is joule. So heat is one form of energy, not only heat, work, even electrical energy, chemical energy. So wherever we use the term energy, it will have the unit joule. So heat is one of the energy. So heat is also having the unit joule. We know that. So what is heat? Heat is the energy that is transferred from one body to the another as a result of difference in temperature. If there is a temperature difference, means the heat will transfer. Unless otherwise there is a heat temperature difference, that heat will not definitely transfer. Okay, even though there is a heat difference between two bodies. Even one body may have some amount of 50 kilojoule of heat and another body may have some amount of 30 kilojoule of heat. If both are in same temperature, means there will not be any heat transfer. So based upon that only we can define the heat. So we know that heat is the form of energy. The unit of energy is joule. So what is joule? Joule is a unit of work or energy equal to work done by a force of 1 Newton acting through a distance of 1 meter. Okay, so automatically 1 Newton and 1 meter. So the unit for the joule is, we can also define the joule as 1 Newton meter. So in general, we have to use joule or Newton meter simultaneously in thermal engineering. But it is exactly the same. 1 joule equal to 1 Newton meter. And what is mean by temperature? So in thermal engineering, we mainly focus on 3 important basic property, which are all temperature, pressure, and volume or specific volume. Okay. So what is temperature? It is the degree of intensity of heat present in the substance or object, especially as expressed according to comparative scale. We in general use the unit for temperature or measurement of temperature is by Kelvin or degree Celsius. And based upon that, what is meant by specific heat? That is also very important. That is heat energy required to change the temperature of the unit mass of a substance by 1 degree. Okay, it means how much energy we require to increase its temperature 1 degree Celsius of substance 1 kg. Okay, so based upon that, we can easily understand each substance have different molecule structure, so that each substance will have definitely different specific heat, each body or substance. Okay, the specific heat value is not common for all the substance, it is varying. Okay, and in general in thermal engineering side, the students will have some difficulty to understand the difference between specific heat and heat capacity. Heat capacity is just a product of mass and specific heat. Okay, so what will be the unit? So we can easily derive the unit for heat capacity. Of course, I have given here, but specific heat unit is a heat capacity is a mass and a specific heat. So the unit of mass is kilogram, okay, and the unit of specific heat is joule per kilogram Kelvin. So kilogram into joule per kilogram Kelvin. So kilogram get cancelled. So that is joule per Kelvin. And in general, the students may have confusion. Joule per Kelvin, 1 joule per Kelvin, whether it is equal to 1 joule per degree Celsius or not. Of course. So here, not always, okay, as per this definition, most probably in thermal engineering side, this Kelvin is represent the unit difference, which means temperature difference. So we know that if there is a T1 temperature in any formula, another one is a T2 temperature, the temperature unit is Kelvin. If you are represent the temperature unit by Kelvin means, so after subtracting these values, the final value will be in Kelvin. Okay. So here, for example, we can take this is a 40 Kelvin and this one is a 30 Kelvin. So the difference is 10 Kelvin. So here this Kelvin is represent the temperature difference, okay, or otherwise the change in temperature. So the change in temperature in Kelvin and degree Celsius both are same. For example, suppose if you want to find the same value in degree Celsius means the T1 minus T2, okay, we have to convert T1 into degree Celsius. Okay. For example, the relation between temperature in degree Celsius, temperature in Kelvin and degree Celsius is temperature in Kelvin is equal to, of course, there is no degree, okay, temperature in Kelvin, which is equal to temperature in degree Celsius plus 273. Okay. So here this is Kelvin. I have represented here it is a Kelvin. Okay. So that is the temperature in degree Celsius, which is equal to what? Temperature in Kelvin minus 273. That is 40 minus 273. So it is around 33. Am I correct? Minus 233 degrees Celsius. So here the T1 in terms of degree Celsius minus 233 degrees Celsius. So similarly, this one is there is always minus, another minus, okay. So the difference between these two is 243 degrees Celsius. So in the same way, you can convert the Kelvin into degree Celsius, okay. So what is here? That is plus, this one is minus. So 10 degrees Celsius. So the difference in Kelvin and degree Celsius are exactly same. So that in this case, definitely 1 joule per Kelvin is equal to 1 joule per degree Celsius. Here we no need to convert Kelvin into degree Celsius by subtracting 273 or degree Celsius to Kelvin by adding 273. So this is one of the mistakes most of the time the students will do. So in thermal engineering side, okay, not always, I am not talking about all the subject, okay, in thermal engineering side, in all the properties, we will definitely use temperature difference term, okay. So in that case, per Kelvin and per degree Celsius is there means you no need to convert the value. The values is same. For example, the gas constant, we know that gas constant is R. The unit of gas constant is joule per kilogram Kelvin. For example, for air it is 287 joule per kilogram Kelvin, which is exactly equal to 287 joule per kilogram degree Celsius. Okay, here it's represent amount of energy needed for 1 Kelvin temperature difference. Okay, so 1 Kelvin temperature difference is equal to 1 degree Celsius temperature difference. So the value will not change. Okay, do you understand? Yes. So the main difference between specific heat and heat capacity is this one. Okay. Right, thank you. So next we know that, okay. We can know the formula, how to convert the temperature in Kelvin, okay. The temperature in Kelvin, which is equal to, already I told you, temperature in degree Celsius plus 273. Okay. So by using this formula, we can convert Kelvin into degree Celsius. So similarly, temperature in degree Celsius, which is equal to temperature in Kelvin minus 273. Okay. The Kelvin is the absolute temperature. Okay. So I always request you prefer Kelvin wherever we want to substitute in the formula. Okay. So at that time, we can definitely avoid the confusions. So please use Kelvin, okay, in all the formula, in thermal engineering formulas. Okay. And also, one of the, another unit is degree Fahrenheit. Degree Fahrenheit. There is some relation in degree Fahrenheit. Of course, so the degree Fahrenheit, which is equal to, so in degree Celsius into 9/5 plus 32, which is equal to, so if you want to convert 1 degree Celsius means, so 1 degree Celsius is equal to the values in degree Celsius, okay, into 9/5 plus 32. So what is 1 degree Celsius? That is 1 into 9/5 in plus 32. Okay, it is around 33 degree Fahrenheit. Sorry, you have to calculate. Okay, so you just calculate this value. Suppose if you want to find the degree Fahrenheit for 0 degree Celsius means, so 0 degree Celsius, which is equal to 0 into 9/5 plus 32. So this term is 0. So that is 32 degree Fahrenheit. So in medical field, generally we are using degree Fahrenheit. Okay. So we can convert the degree Celsius into degree Fahrenheit by using this formula. Okay. So degree Celsius into degree Fahrenheit. Okay. Right. For example, our normal body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. Okay, normal body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. So in corona period, in general, we will mainly concentrate on our temperature frequently. Okay, body temperature. So normal temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. Can anyone convert 37 degrees Celsius into Fahrenheit? Can anyone tell the answer? So by using this formula, that is 37 into 9/5 plus 32. Okay. Plus 32. So what will be the value? So this value is around 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. So already sir yesterday told that the degree Celsius, of course, sometimes we may use the term degree centigrade. Degree Celsius exactly equal to degree centigrade. The degree centigrade is name defined by the Celsius who invent the temperature. Okay. So after some period of time, we represent his name to measure the temperature. Okay. So degree centigrade, the term which is used by the scientist Celsius. So in memorable of his scientist, we are using nowadays degree Celsius. Okay. Degree Celsius and degree centigrade are exactly same. Okay. So degree Celsius and Fahrenheit should be used with the symbol degree, okay, but not Kelvin. Okay, Kelvin should not be used with the degree. So it is around. So around our normal body temperature is 98.6 Fahrenheit. Okay, so you just substitute and find the value of. Definitely you will get the same value. Okay. So now in general we using in SI unit to represent the temperature Kelvin and degree Celsius. So you can understand how to convert the Kelvin into degree Celsius and degree Celsius into Kelvin. So another important property we are using in thermodynamics and thermal field is pressure. So what is pressure? Is just a simple definition of pressure. The normal force exerted by the fluid per unit area is called as pressure. So in general, in SI units, we will represent pressure in Newton per meter square or mm of mercury. Sometimes we use atmospheric pressure and sometimes we will use mm of water. Okay. So this is the sum relation between these units. So 1 Newton per meter squared is generally we use the term Pascal. Okay, that is 1 Pascal. So these are all the things we should know. Okay, so then only we can easily convert one unit to another unit. That conversion is very, very important. Okay, in the case of, because in the problem, sometimes you may be given 1 atmosphere, sometimes you may be given some 360 mm of mercury, sometimes you may be given in Newton per meter squared, sometimes you may be given in centimeter of water or meter of water, the pressure in the problem. So at that time, we have to convert one form to another form, which is definitely we need to substitute in the formula. Okay, then only we will get the correct answer. So the getting correct answer in the formula is very, very important. Okay, so we cannot definitely get the correct answer, just substitute the value of unit which is given in the problem directly into the formula. Okay, suppose if you substitute that directly, whatever the unit given in the problem into the formula means, it will not definitely give the correct answer. Maybe sometimes, but most of the times it's not correct. Okay, so in general, whatever may be the formula, if you are using the basic units, so basic units will have only Newton, meter, seconds, kilograms. I'm not talking about the fundamental units, the basic SI units. The basic SI units means it will not contain any prefixes terms. So prefixes terms are already told, which means milli, cendi, deci, kilo, mega, giga. Okay, so these are all the prefixes term. So if you are using without prefixes, even if the values given in the problem with prefixes, if we are using non-prefixes, which means if you convert that into the normal basic unit means, okay, definitely we can most of the time avoid the confusions in the final answer. Okay, if you substitute all the values with the basic units like Newton, meter, second, kilogram, like joule, okay, Kelvin. So especially I'm talking about in the thermal engineering field side. Okay, Kelvin means we will definitely get the unit for the final answer in these combinations. So in these same combinations. So in the same combinations means definitely we can easily get the final answer correctly. Okay, so this is what in general I advise. If the please students in any formulas, okay, especially the theoretical formulas, please prefer these units, okay, or combination of these units. Okay, for example, I will give you here, of course, based upon pressure, I will explain you later. Okay, so in general, okay, so I will first explain what is meant by pressure. So 1 Newton per meter square is equal to 1 Pascal. Okay, so what is 1 bar? 1 bar equal to 1 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per meter square. Okay, and what is 1 atmospheric pressure? That is 760 mm of mercury. Okay, and what is 1 atmospheric pressure in bar means that is 1.01325 bar. Of course, it is approximately 1 bar we can take. So in the case of thermal engineering side, okay, we will not always take 1 atmospheric pressure is 1.01325 bar. Okay, most probably we prefer 1 atmospheric pressure as 1 bar. Okay, because this value is somewhat very, very less. Okay, 0.01325 is a very lesser value. So we can neglect these values. Okay, so that is why I have given is approximately 1 bar. And the same time, the 1 bar is equal to in mm of water, that is 10.1972 in meter of water. Sorry, okay, 10.1972 meter of water. So this is also equal to in centimeter, we know how to convert meter into centimeter. Okay, so 1 meter equal to 100 centimeter. So if you multiply this 10.1972 into 100 means we will get this value. That is 1019.72 centimeter of water. And also sometimes in the air, meter of air, which means 7888, okay, 7888.017 meter of air. Okay. So in fluid mechanics, you know that what is this meter of air, mm of mercury, and meter of water or centimeter of water. Okay. Just I give some small idea. Okay. If is mercury, okay, if the vessel is filled with mercury, okay, for 760 mm means, for 760 mm means, okay, if you put an pressure gauge here, okay, it is a, of course, it is not absolute pressure, it is a gauge pressure. So it will show 1 bar or approximately 1 bar pressure. Okay, it will show approximately 1 bar pressure or exactly 1 atmospheric pressure. Okay, so what is mean by this one? Centimeter of water. So in the same column, okay, if it is filled with water, for the 10.1972 meter, okay, just consider, imagine, okay, there is a vessel, okay, with a height of around 11 meter, okay, in that you fill the water around 10.1972 means in the bottom side you will have the gauge pressure value as 1 bar. Okay. So in the same manner here, air, okay, around 788. For example, if you are feeling around 1 bar pressure here in the earth surface means, okay, if you are feeling around 1 bar pressure means, okay, so what is happening? It will filled with air. The earth surface is filled with air, okay, and also the air is around approximately this height, around 7.888 kilometer, okay, or 788.8.17 meter height. The completely air will be there. Because of that air, okay, we are feeling this much amount of pressure, which means 1 bar pressure. Okay, right. So next, in general, the students may have some confusion to convert into, sometimes the unit will be given in the problem in kilopascal, megapascal something, okay, that has to be converted into bar sometimes or into Newton per meter square sometimes, okay, we will discuss about this here. For example, 100 kilopascal. What is 100 kilopascal? Okay. So 100 kilopascal means 100, okay, into the kilo is represent what? The kilo is represent 10 to the power of 3, okay, Pascal. And also we know that what is 1 Pascal? So 1 Pascal equal to 1 Newton per meter square, already told, okay. So that is 100 into 1000, that is 10 to the power of 5, okay. Pascal is equal to Newton per meter square. So that is equal to 1, okay, into 10 to the power of 5. So we can write this as a 1 into 10 to the power of 5. That is 1 lakh around, okay, Newton per meter square. And also already I told that, okay, so 1 bar is equal to 1 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per meter square. So 100 kilopascal, which is equal to what now? Which is equal to 1 bar. Okay, so 100 kilopascal, which is equal to 1 bar. Just keep it in your mind. Okay. So in the same manner, can anyone tell what is 1 megapascal? How much bar it is? Please, can anyone tell? You unmute yourself, or otherwise you can give it me in the chat box. Please try to find, okay, that is very important. Then only we can definitely be familiar with unit conversion. Can anyone tell, please? So 1 megapascal. The same manner, can you convert it into bar?
into 10 power 6, sir.
10 to the power of
6, sir.
6. What is the unit? That is important. 10 to the power of 6.
Pascal.
Because we are mainly focusing on unit here. So mega is 10 to the power of 6, of course. Okay, 10 to the power of 6. Pascal is Newton per meter square.
Meter per second.
Yes, good. So 1 into 10 to the power of 6 Newton per meter square is equal to how much bar? How can you convert it? So just keep it in your mind, okay, 1 bar, okay, which is equal
10 bar,
to,
sir.
yes, 10 bar, okay. So if you are having confusion means I have give some idea. 1 bar equal to 1 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per meter square, okay, the same manner, okay. So 1 Newton per meter squared, okay, which is equal to 1 divided by, okay, just a simple calculation. Just keep it bar as a multiplication term, okay. So that is equal to 1 divided by, okay, 1 into 10 to the power of 5, the bar is there, bar, okay. So this is very, very important, okay. So 1 Newton per meter square. So whatever the formula, we can easily convert this term, okay, like this, okay. So here 1 Newton per meter is equal to 1 by 1 into 10 to the power of 5 bar, okay. So 1 into 10 to the power of 6. What is 1 Newton per meter square? Newton per meter square is represent what? The numerical value for this Newton per meter square is 1, okay. So there is 1 Newton per meter square. This is represent 1 Newton per meter square. We know that 1 Newton per meter square is equal to 1 by 1 into 10 to the power of 5 bar. Okay, so multiply. Okay, the 1 into 10 to the power of 6. This term is in multiplication. Just consider this term is in multiplication. Okay, so 1 Newton per meter square is equal to 1 divided by 1 into 10 to the power of 5. Okay, bar. So now we can easily convert. So 10 to the power of 5 here is there. Here 10 to the power of 6. So only 10 will be there. That is 10 bar. Okay, so we can prefer this type of unit conversion technique, okay, for any unit. For any unit. For example, 1 meter, which is equal to 1000 millimeter. We know the relation. Okay, so the same time, so 1 millimeter, which is equal to 1 by 1000, okay, meter. Okay. So for example, 1 centimeter, which is equal to 100 millimeter. 10 millimeter. Okay. So in the same way, we can convert it. So 1 millimeter, which is equal to 1 by 10 centimeter. Suppose if you want to convert millimeter into centimeter means, so bigger unit to smaller unit, we can easily understand. So we will definitely have a confusion when we convert the smaller unit to bigger unit. Okay, we may have some confusion. So at that time, you just write the simplest form which you know, that is conversion of bigger to smaller. Okay, 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter, which is we definitely know. If you are asking suddenly how much centimeter is 1 meter, we can easily tell, okay, that is 100 centimeter. If you suddenly ask how much meter is 1 centimeter, we will definitely think about it. Okay, so at that time you just write it and convert it. Okay, so 1 centimeter, which is equal to 1 by 100 millimeter. Okay, so if you have the both two types of conversion, okay, means in the prefix term, you can easily convert all the equation with the required units. Okay, so here 1 megapascal is equal to 10 bar. Clear? Okay. So in the same manner, okay. So why I have taken this 100 kilopascal, 1 megapascal means this may be generally given in the problem in the thermodynamics subject. Okay. And in the mm of mercury, the students may have some confusion, convert the mm of mercury into some other term. So mm of mercury. So 760 mm of mercury is equal to 1 bar. Okay, that is equal to 1 bar. Of course, it is 1 atmospheric pressure. 1 atmospheric pressure is approximately, most probably, it is 1 bar. Okay, so you no need to worry about that 0.0136 term. Okay, we can definitely take it as a 1 bar. So 760 mm of mercury is equal to 1 bar. So then what is 1 mm of mercury? 1 mm of mercury. Simple, okay. So there is 1, okay. We are just keeping mm of mercury in the left hand side. So 1 mm of mercury, okay. If there is no unit, there is no numerical value means there is 1. Am I correct? So 1 mm of mercury, which is equal to 1 divided by this 360. Okay, 1 divided by this 360 bar. So bar is there. Am I correct? So what about, can anyone tell 375 mm of mercury? If you are having calculator, can anyone tell what is the value of 375 mm of mercury? This is very simple. Okay, here 1 means we are using here 1. So if 375 means, so 375 divided by 760, okay, bar, it is over. Clear? So can anyone tell this answer?
493, sir.
What is that?
0.493, sir.
Yes, 0.493 bar. Okay. So do you have some idea about it? So around what about the 740 mm of mercury? Mm of mercury into bar. So that is 740 divided by 760 bar. Okay, we know that there is relation 1 mm of mercury is equal to 1 by 760 bar. 2 mm of mercury is 2 by 760. 500 mm of mercury is 500 by 760. 740 mm of mercury is 740 by 760. Okay, so you should know these basic conversions. Okay, the basic conversion definitely we will have. Okay, suppose if we want how much bar is mm of mercury means we can easily tell. Sir, 1 bar is equal to 760 mm of mercury, sir. We can easily tell. 2 bar means sir 2 into 760, sir. 3 bar means 3 into 760 bar. Suppose in reverse manner. Okay, because this is bigger to, the bigger values. Okay, big to small. Bar is a bigger value, mm of mercury is a smaller value. So bigger to smaller value, we will easily keep it in our mind, and also we will convert easily. Okay, if it is reverse means smaller to bigger means we may have a confusion. So at that time, please write the units like this. Okay, if you are having unit relation like this means, okay, we can definitely convert smaller unit to bigger unit easily. Okay, that is 7640 mm of mercury is equal to around how much bar? Can anyone tell? It is around 0.9 something.
0.973, sir.
0.973
sir.
bar. Yes, very good. Okay, do you have some idea about it? Suppose if you want to convert, okay, suppose if you want to convert mm of mercury into directly Newton per meter square. Okay, of course, once you know the bar means we can convert this bar into Newton per meter square. By 2 steps we can easily convert. Okay, suppose if you want to directly convert. Okay, so how can, so in the starting itself you just write the value in Newton per meter square. So 760 mm of mercury Hg, which is equal to 1 bar. 1 bar means 1 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per meter square. We know that. So now what is 1 mm of mercury? So now 1 mm of mercury, which is equal to 1 into 10 to the power of 5 divided by 760 Newton per meter squared. So once you know this relation, you can easily convert whatever it may be. Okay, for example, 360 mm of mercury. What is that? 360 mm of mercury in Newton per meter square. That is 1 into 360, 1. So 360 means 360 into 10 to the power of 5
divided by 7
divided by 760. Okay, Newton per meter square. So you will get definitely the correct answer. Okay. So do you have some idea about it? It is not only for thermal engineering. This is a basic. Okay. So we may know the unit conversion from bigger to smaller. Okay. If you just write into smaller to bigger relation means wherever we want, we can easily substitute and find the values. Okay, in other unit. Okay, like mm of mercury Newton per meter square. So in the same manner, mm of mercury meter of water, mm of mercury to centimeter of water. Okay, we know that common term is 1 bar. Okay, common term is 1 bar. So all in left hand side, okay, I have given 1 bar. 1 atmospheric pressure is also 1 bar. Okay, so in right hand side time, we can easily convert whichever into whichever. Okay, that is not a problem. Because 1 bar is 1 Newton per meter squared. 1 bar is 760 mm of mercury. Okay, for example, if you want to convert meter of air to mm of mercury means, okay, so 788.17 meter of air is equal to 1 bar, that 1 bar is equal to 760 mm of mercury. So 760 mm of mercury, which is equal to 7888.017 meter of air. So that is the relation. So from that you can just identify other relation. Based upon that you can easily convert it. Okay, so do you have some idea about it? Yes. So another term, which is a specific volume. Okay, which is a specific volume. This is another important term we are using. Specific volume is defined as a number of cubic meters, okay, kilogram per substance. Unit we are mainly focusing on, that is meter cube per kilogram. Okay, meter cube per kilogram. Suppose if you want to convert 1 meter cube per kilogram to, okay, centimeter cube to kilogram, how will you convert? So the main rule is, okay, just adapt the conversion numerator to numerator, denominator to denominator. Okay, please don't confusion in that. Okay, numerator just convert into numerator value, okay, whatever you want. Denominator you just convert it into denominator value, okay, whatever you want. For example, suppose you want to convert this value into meter cube per gram, for example. Okay, of course it will not be generally used meter cube per gram in the thermodynamics, but familiarity, for familiarity I have given here. So meter cube numerator is same meter cube, so there is no need of any conversion. But kilogram to gram, okay, we know that 1 kilogram is equal to 1000 grams. Okay, so divided by 1000. I have here it is kilogram is in denominator. I have put the same conversion factor, okay, 1000 in the denominator. Okay, suppose if you want to convert 1 meter cube per kilogram into, okay, 1 centimeter cube per gram, but there is 1, we have to meter cube into centimeter cube. We know the relation 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. Okay, so the value, this one is represent that value. For example, for suppose if we want to x meter cube per kilogram to x centimeter cube per kilogram, means we have to use that x value. For example, 2 means 2, 3 means 3. Okay, so there will be a 1. We have to convert meter cube into centimeter cube. We know the relation meter into centimeter, that is 100. So 100, that is meter to centimeter, that is a cube. So 1 into 100 cube divided by, we have to convert kilogram into gram. So 1 kilogram is equal to what? 1000 gram. Okay, divided by 1000. You just put it and then you cancel it, find the final answer. Okay, so here there is an 3 into 2, around 6 zeros are, yet 3 zeros are there. So if you multiply with 1000 means we can convert centimeter cube to gram. Okay, please don't mug up. Okay, so 1 meter cube per kilogram is equal to 1000 centimeter cube per gram. 1 meter cube per kilogram is equal to 1000 centimeter. Please don't mug up like that. Okay, you just adapt this technique. Okay, suppose 1 centimeter cube per gram to the 1 meter cube. Okay, divided by, for example, we may use the next slide. Okay, may use the fresh slide. Okay, to avoid the confusion. So this is the basic thing. Okay, if you are having familiar in this one, we can easily convert whatever they need to do, whatever we need to. Okay, so for example here, so 1 centimeter cube to the same thing. Okay, sometimes we may have confusion. Even still now only we are changing. Okay, 1 centimeter cube to gram, which is equal to how much meter cube per kilogram? Can anyone tell? So what we have to do, I am not expecting the final answer. Okay, what we have to do, that is there is a 1. Okay, if x is x, 2 is 2. Okay, there is a 1 into what we have to do, centimeter to meter. Okay, so 1 meter which is equal to 100 centimeter, we know that. Then we have to convert centimeter into meter. So 1 centimeter which is equal to, very good, 1 by 100 meter, which is equal to 10 to the power of minus 2 meter. Okay, for simplification. So 10 to the power of minus 2 It is conversion from centimeter to meter, but there is a cube. So
Cube,
cube is,
sorry.
yes, good. Okay. And then gram to kilogram. We know that 1 kilogram is equal to 1000 gram. Okay. So here 1 by 1000,
Equal.
okay, kilogram equal to 1 gram. Yes, suppose then 1 gram is equal to 1 by 1000. 1 by 1000 we may write this as a 10 to the power of minus
10
3.
power of minus 3.
Yes, 10 to the power of minus 3. Okay. So we are converting into gram to kilogram. Okay. So that is equal to 10 to the power of 3 into minus 2, that is minus 6.
Minus 6
divided
divided
by 10 to the power of
by 10
minus 3 meter cube per kilogram. Yes, okay. So 10 to the power of minus 6. If you move this 10 to the power of minus 3 to the denominator means plus 3. Okay.
Plus 3.
That is meter cube per kilogram, which is equal to 10 to the power of
10 power
minus 3.
3 meter cube divided by kilogram.
It is okay. So 1 centimeter cube divided by gram, which is equal to 10 to the power of minus 3 meter cube per. No need to, of course, 1 gram per means into 1000 means here definitely divided by 1000. Okay, we have to multiply with the divided by 1000 or 10 to the power of minus 3. Okay. But same time, this is the logic. If once you know the logic means wherever you want, not only for thermal engineering unit, for any unit we can easily adapt this technique. Okay, right. So next one is the molecular weight. This is another important term. Okay, molecular weight. This is a definition. The unit. Yes. The unit for molecular weight is generally gram per mole. Okay, or kilogram per kilomole. Okay, based upon the quantity, we will use this any one of the unit, kilogram per kilomole. So what is 1 mole? We know that. Okay, it is represent. That is Avogadro's number. We know that. Okay, that is 6.023 around. Okay, into 10 to the power of 23 molecules. Okay, 1 mole means, okay, suppose if there is a 1 mole of oxygen means, okay, there is 6.022 into 10 to the power of 23 quantity number of molecules is there. Okay, that is the meaning of 1 mole oxygen. Okay, so the way I have given here, that means universal gas constant is another important parameter. Okay, in the thermodynamics and thermal engineering. So universal gas constant value is 8.314 joule per mole Kelvin. Okay, or that is 8.314 kilojoule per kilomole. Because if you insert kilo here means here also kilo means numerator denominator. Okay, so the value is same. There will not be any change in the value. So 8.314 kilojoule per kilomole Kelvin. Okay, so can anyone tell what is the value of this one 8.314 kilojoule per kilomole Kelvin into kilojoule per kilomole, okay, degree Celsius. So what is this value? Can anyone tell? So already have some simple introduction about this one. Okay, in thermal engineering, per Kelvin to per degree Celsius. What is the value here? Can anyone tell, please? No idea. Per degree Celsius or per Kelvin is same. Okay, 8.314 kilojoule per kilomole degree Celsius. And this one is a mass. How can you find the mass? That is number of moles into molecular weight. Okay, by using this we can find the mass. For example, suppose if you want to gas constant means the unit is joule per kilogram Kelvin. Okay, that is kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. Both are same because kilo in denominator, numerator is added. Okay, so both are same. Values are same. Both values are same. Okay, for air, for example, it is 287 joule per kilogram Kelvin. Okay, suppose if you want to convert, okay, this 287 joule per, okay, kilogram Kelvin into kilojoule per, okay, gram Kelvin. Suppose if you want to convert, okay, kilojoule per kilogram, gram Kelvin. What we will do? So there joule to kilojoule. Okay, so 1 kilojoule equal to 1000 joule. Yes, okay. So joule to kilo, 1 joule is 10 to the power of, but 10 to the power of minus 3. Correct? Joule to kilojoule. And here Kelvin is same. Okay, Kelvin to Kelvin. Kilogram to gram. So that is 10 to the power of 3. Okay, 10 to the power of 3. Am I correct? So 10 to the power of 3 kilogram to gram. So the value will be same. Okay, that is kilojoule per gram Kelvin. Am I correct? So we have to multiply with the 10 to the power of minus 3 here, and here we have to multiply with the 10 to the power of 3 kilogram to gram. Okay, 1 kilogram is equal to 10 to the power of 3 gram in denominator. Okay, so the value will not going to change. Suppose if we want kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin means we have to only multiply with 10 to the power of minus 3 or divided by 1000. Okay, so that is a unit conversion. And another important term is the mass flow rate. We know that kilogram per second. The unit for mass flow rate. What is the rate? Rate is represent per time. Okay, rate is represent per time. So the unit is kilogram per second. So 1 kilogram per second. It is how much kilogram per hour? Because some of the time the unit will be given in kilogram per hour. At that time we have to convert that into kilogram per second. So this is the basic unit. There is a kilogram only, kilogram and second. Okay, how can you convert? So kilogram, there is no values in numerator. Okay, in denominator second to hour. We know that bigger to smaller. 1 hour equal to
60 by 60.
3600 seconds. So 1 second equal to
Seconds.
1 divided by 3600
3600.
hour. Okay, so the value,
Hour.
yes. So here we have to convert this into
Value that includes
the second value is in denominator. That is very important. Okay, so we have to
Yes, sir.
convert second to hour. So we have to put the denominator 1 by 3600 in the denominator. Okay, in the denominator. That is very important.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
that is very important. So what will be the
Numerator
final answer? Yes, that is multiplication. Because yes, okay, reciprocal per minute, that will definitely 3600 into kilogram per hour.
Kilogram per hour.
Okay, we definitely
sir.
sometimes it's easily put here 1 by 3600. If it is wrong. Okay, seconds is in denominator, so we have to substitute this 1 by 3600 into denominator. Okay,
Yes, sir.
for example, 1 kilogram per hour, which is equal to how much kilogram per second? So that is kilogram to kilogram, no problem. Hour to second is 3600.
3600 seconds.
Good. So 1 divided by 3600 kilogram per second. Okay, that is very important. Whatever may be the unit, whatever may be the biggest formula is there. Okay, please don't worry about it. Okay, you just convert this adapt this technique and convert easily. Okay, so like that here, heat transfer rate, that is joule per second, that is watt. Okay, heat flux, that is unit watt per meter square. That is from the definition you can definitely find the unit also. Okay, please learn the definition, okay, correctly. Based upon that you can just identify the unit for that property values. Okay, for example, here I have given heat generation per unit volume. Heat generation per unit, what may be the unit? Can anyone tell? Even if you are not a mechanical engineer, okay, can anyone tell what is the unit? What may be the unit? Heat, okay, generation per unit volume, or heat transfer rate per unit volume. What may be the unit? Can anyone tell? Heat generation per unit volume. Please try yourself.
Joule.
Unit volume. What is the unit for heat?
Joule.
Very good. Yes.
Joule, sir.
What is the unit for volume?
Meter cube.
Very good. Okay, heat per unit volume. So per joule per meter cube. Or okay, in terms of rate means watt per meter cube. Rate means per second. Okay, joule per second. 1 joule per second is equal to 1 watt. We know that. Okay, that is power. What may be the unit of volume flow rate? Rate is represent per second. Okay, then volume flow rate unit what is?
Meter cube per second.
Good, meter cube per second. Okay, so like that, if you are knowing the exact meaning of the term or the definition of the property values, means you can easily identify the unit you own itself. Okay, by your own you can find the unit. So like that here, thermal conductivity, another important term which is used in heat transfer, that is watt per meter Kelvin. Okay, suppose if you want to convert into kilowatt means what we have to do? We have to convert it, multiplying by 1000. Suppose meter into centimeter means we know that, okay? So like that thermal diffusivity is meter squared per second, thermal resistance is Kelvin per watt. And also this is very, very important. Of course, I will complete definitely in 5 minutes, okay? So whenever, okay, we will use the formulas which is having addition and subtraction means definitely each terms or each component, I represent each component here like P1, okay, half rho V1 squared. This is a Bernoulli's equation, one of the form of Bernoulli equation. Each term should be equal, okay. In general, I will tell in the class, okay. So what is 2 meter plus 2 centimeter? What is 2 meter plus 2 centimeter? Definitely we will not get the value 4, am I correct? In meter, okay, I want to finalize the value in meter. Am I correct? That is what unit homogeneity, that is what the MLT system, what we have discussed about Gururaj sir and Suresh sir is coming to the picture. Okay, unit homogeneity is very, very important. What we will generally do, what we have to do, that is, we have to convert first centimeter into meter. Okay, we have to convert first centimeter into meter. So 2 centimeter means how much meter? That is 2 into 10 to the power of minus
2 minus 2.
meter. So plus 2. So that is equal
Answer
to,
is 2.02.
yes,
meter.
2.02. Okay, 2 plus 0.02 is equal to 2.02 meter.
0.02 meter.
Okay, so whenever you are adding, okay, some of the property values or subtracting means definitely each property of that component should be in same unit. Okay, we can check here. Okay, what is the unit of pressure? That is Newton per meter squared. Here,
Pascal.
half. Okay, or Pascal, yes, good. Here, density into V. V is the velocity. Okay, so half density, what is the unit? Kilogram per meter. V, unit velocity, unit.
Meter per second.
Yes, meter per second. That is squared. So meter squared per second squared. Is it correct? Okay. So what is the final form? So half is no unit. So kilogram per meter cube, meter squared per. So there is a 1 meter. Here meter squared can cancel. Kilogram per second squared.
kg per meter second.
Yes. Okay. So half. Yes. So kilogram. Okay.
Per meter second.
Per meter
Second. Second square.
into second squared. Okay.
2, sir. Half.
That is 2. 2 is not a unit. Okay. So you know not to use this term. So we know that 1 Newton, okay, which is equal to F equal to MA. Okay, F equal to MA. That is kilogram meter per second squared. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Second squared. Yes. So that. So here, what is the final kilogram per meter cube into meter squared per second squared? So there is a meter and second squared. That is a Newton, am I correct? It is a Newton. It's here, but Newton per meter squared. Of course, here there is a some mistake in the formula. Okay, there is a small mistake in the formula. Of course, the meter squared will be come into the picture. Okay, that is P1 by rho g. I think so. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Here, this term rho is equal to kilogram per meter cube. G meter per second square into h meter. Okay. So meter, there is a meter. So Newton. Okay. If you consider this as a force, okay. For example, now consider this as a force. The unit is Newton. Okay. So here P1 is not a pressure. Okay. P by rho g is a pressure. This is the P1 is represent the force. Okay. So that is Newton. This is also Newton. Okay. Because 1 kilogram per meter second squared. So all the term, each term should be in the same unit. Okay. So similarly, like energy, steady flow energy equation. Okay. Sorry. That is H1 plus GH1 potential energy plus V1 squared by 2. Okay. Plus some heat, which is equal to some other terms. Unit of H is a enthalpy. Okay. That is joule per kilogram. Okay. What is G? G is meter per second squared, acceleration due to gravity. Okay, this H is a height, that is meter. Okay, that is meter squared per second squared. Here we are having different unit. One is joule per kilogram, one is meter squared per second squared. But both are same. Okay, here what about V1 squared by 2? V1, that is meter squared per second squared. 2 is not a unit, okay? So meter squared per second. So there is a relation between joule per kilogram to meter per square. We know that F equal to MA. Okay, that is also important one. F unit is Newton. Mass unit is kilogram. Okay. A is acceleration due to gravity. That is meter per second squared. Okay. So just multiply with the M on both sides. So that is Newton meter, which is equal to kilogram meter squared. Okay. When we multiply on both sides, meter squared divided by second squared. Okay, so 1 meter squared per second squared is what? That is equal to Newton meter per kilogram. 1 Newton meter is equal to joule. So joule per kilogram. Okay, so 1 meter squared per second squared is equal to joule per kilogram. That is important one. So both are same. Okay. So even in the unit, you may have some difference. Okay, you can just relate with some basic terms. Okay. And also we can convert one unit into another unit form. Like when we are converting joule per kilogram into meter square per second square, like that. Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you. So time up.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
For your patience. Okay. If you have any
Thank you,
doubt,
sir.
please ask. So in whatever the field, so for example, if this is a heat transfer formula. Okay. So if you substitute all the unit in correct terms means. So can anyone tell, just imagine it, okay, for the first formula, you can easily understand what may be the final unit. What may be the right hand side unit or what may be the final unit. If you have some basic things, okay, or under the way we are teaching, you understand means you can easily tell what may be the final unit or the unit for left hand side. Right hand side, there is a number of property values, okay. Left hand side is a simple property values. What may be the unit here? For the left hand terms, I am not asking about the unit of temperature. There is a T minus T infinity divided by T naught minus T infinity. Okay, T is a temperature. Okay, just T is a temperature. What is the unit for this ratio? T minus T naught T infinity divided by T naught minus T infinity. Can have anyone some idea about it?
No
unit.
Very good. No unit.
Useless.
Because no unit.
Useless.
Kelvin. Okay. This unit, temperature unit is Kelvin. Here T infinity is Kelvin. T naught is Kelvin. T infinity is Kelvin. So Kelvin per Kelvin. Okay. So at the time of sum and addition, summing and subtraction means we will have the same unit. Okay. At the time of division, if you are having the same unit means what will be happen? There will be a no unit. Okay. So Kelvin per Kelvin get cancelled. So there is a no unit for the right hand side. Okay, suppose if you want to find only the T value means it may be Kelvin or in degree Celsius based upon the unit what we are going to substitute here. Okay, so like that. Right? Can anyone tell? Okay, just this is the last one. I'm not going to take more time. Okay, so this is a unit. I'm just giving the unit watt per meter squared Kelvin power 4. Okay, the unit of the sigma r. The unit of epsilon is no unit. Okay, epsilon unit is no unit. Here temperature unit is Kelvin. Okay, temperature unit is Kelvin. Here H is represent the heat transfer coefficient. Okay, H is represent heat transfer coefficient. Can anyone tell unit of heat transfer coefficient HR? It's a simple formula only. Okay, can anyone tell what is the unit of H? Because based upon formula, you can easily find the unit sometimes, okay? Even without knowing the definition.
Kelvin, sir.
Watt per meter squared Kelvin. How? Because sigma is equal to what? Watt per meter squared Kelvin power 4. You just practice like that, okay? There is no unit for epsilon. Temperature power 4, that is Kelvin power 4, okay? Minus means Kelvin power 4 will be there.
Watt per meter square Kelvin.
Yes, good. Here Kelvin, okay. So 1 Kelvin get cancelled. So finally, here Kelvin power 4 is there, here Kelvin power 3 is there. Okay, so Kelvin get cancelled. So watt per meter Kelvin. Okay, so like that, whatever may be the formula, you just try yourself. Okay, we are not organizing this type of workshop for giving all the conversion unit factors. Okay, we will organize only for giving some idea about it. Okay, so based upon this idea, if you are applying these ideas to your units, whatever may be your subject, okay, whatever may be your degree, okay, you just apply this technique in your unit, definitely we will get the correct unit. Okay, thank you very much for your patience. Thank you, sir. Jabin sir.
Yes, sir. Ashok, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your presentation. So, participants, if you are having any doubt, means you can ask directly to our sir. So, hope you all have enjoyed our session. The 3 days session was completely packed with basics related to units. I hope so. So I can see a lot of participants are saying it was nice session. So thank you for your support. So for you people only we are conducting such kind of events. We will also be conducting such kind of events in future also. So participants, if you are having any doubt, means you please ask directly to our expert. Any doubts related to thermal area? You can ask any doubts related to thermal.
So even you can ask some other doubt, okay, in your area, suppose if you are having some confusion, means you can ask. We may try level best because it is a basics things, okay. Over area means in design something other, okay. Otherwise we can close the session.
Okay, so I think there is no doubts. I think we have clearly explained every concept. So I can see that many of the participants were answering at the time of your session. So I hope everyone has understood the things clearly. So thank you, Ashok Kumar sir, for such a wonderful session. You really made them to understand each and everything precisely. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Jabin sir, for giving me this opportunity. And
Thank
also IA and IST sir, members, faculty members and also students members.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So participants, now we have reached the end of the session. So formally, now I would like to close the session. So for that, I request Sridharan from third year mechanical engineering to propose the vote of thanks for the session. Sridharan.
Good evening to all. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. Let me first start by giving the glory to Almighty of God for making today's occasion a resounding success. First and foremost, I thank our special chief guest, Mr. M. Ashok Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Ramco Institute of Technology, who despite his busy schedule has found time to grace this occasion. I thank him for his kindness, his interest and his hospitality and continued support. Thank you, sir. I thank our principal and vice principal for their unskilled support for this function. Heartfelt thanks to the head of various departments and faculty for their valuable contribution and guidance and encouragement in all our efforts. I owe special gratitude to the who have worked hard to ensure that this occasion becomes a memorable success. I thank all the distinguished dignitaries present here accepting our invitation. Last but not the least, I thank you, my friends, for your cooperation in making this function